So these are going to be built by your Knights Templar, okay? You can see that cross at the top in this bell tower, that's a second edition, okay? That would have been an archer tower right there. They put windows in here. They would shoot arrows right out of here. Arch masons, arc masons, they'd shoot arrows, artillery through the air ether. This was all sacred to them. See right here on the door, these doors were a second edition. There's a Templar cross right there, a red Knights Templar cross. One of their markers, okay? See on the left of the Templar, that's going to be the Omega right there, right? On the right, that's going to be the Alpha, but that's a Freemason A right there. You can't tell, but those are going to be compasses right there, the geometric tool they use. Doors were really never there. They were open arcs, and you'd be able to walk right through them like halls, okay? That's why in the blueprints there's the compass, the geometry tool. They used that to lay all these out with harmonic ratios and degrees. This is not a string line brick mason who laid this. These are advanced masons. That's why they last so long. They don't weather, they don't crack. The date on this church is off. This says 1911. The original date documented is like 1848. The priest redid the church and got it blessed in 1911, and that's the date they put on it. So they already added 60 years of documented in their documents, all right? So we don't know how many years that they really added to these structures. The face of this structure got rejointed, the joints in between these blocks. Look how far they stick out right here, okay? They redid the whole face of this and they rejointed the whole entire structure. Yeah, there's a copper cable running down off that roof right there. That's not lightning protection. Underneath these tar shingles, there's actual copper roofs. They tarred and shingled over it to block the electricity going into this building. Top, that's a copper ball right there that would harness energy from the ether. It never got cloudy and would storm over these buildings because they would harness that energy from the atmosphere that would create storms. Thing is copper. Even all this right here running along the side, the drainage system, all copper. You wouldn't need a copper wire ran off the top if it wasn't redirecting that energy back into the ground. Instead of this building pulling the energy from the air into the building, it's going into this copper antenna right here and going into the ground. And this structure would have been able to pull energy from the atmosphere, from the air ether into this building, but it would also have wireless telecommunications to that next structure right there. That's Ursula's, okay? Before it was Ursula's, that's right on the riverfront and the canal system. These were all free wireless telecommunications, whether it was through the water system carrying the electrical current or through the air and the copper. Or they had that north, south, east, west directional point over there. There would have been a cross. It would have been an antenna. The U.S. patent design for an antenna is a cross. The same people who built your lock systems. This is the oldest incorporated village in the United States of America, okay? So you see how that church is all the way up there and then it dips off into this canal right here? That's where the first or second floor of this church is. Bottom floor of that church is going to sit right here like your level 1 or your level 2, okay? This all got built up right here. The ground grade of this is, see how this dips off right here in the back and this drops off another 20 feet right here and it dips down. That's where the ground level is, okay? Where the foundation is on that building. They raised all this up and put this canal system in right here. They raised the canal system. This was a lot lower than what it originally was. So this is right on 3rd Street. That's going to be your 33 Knight Templar cross right there. You guys need to learn the markers. Lay the city lines out for the border lines and all this. This is 3-3. This is 3-6. This is 3-9. This is 3-6 again, okay? This is 35 right here. This would have been lot 33. You can see they knocked the building down. There would have been another structure right here that the Grand Master stayed in. This whole tower got added right here. They converted this whole building, filled it in. So that would have been a door right there. That would have been a window that got sealed off. They only reinstalled these 3 right here. They put this new door in right here, those white panels. All this white is new on this building right here. Those window ties, those are old. They don't come out. Those are permanent window ties. Right behind me, still on 3rd Street. This all got converted. All these buildings are connected underground. I'm not even kidding. 4, right across the street. It would have been 33. They use these city layouts. They control all your cities.